Hey, before this episode starts, wanted to just give a quick follow up to the Cody Co episode that we did. We pledged all of that, all of the revenue from that episode to RAIN, which is a organization that deals with victims of sexual violence. And just for transparency, wanted to note that we have donated a little over $5,700 there.
It's easy to promise, but we didn't want to just let it go.
Yeah, just wanted to just close out loop for transparency, but also wanted to mention it before we jump into this episode. So enjoy. Welcome to Sad Boyz, a podcast about feelings and other things also. I'm Jarvis.
I'm Jordan. I discovered something really jacked up yesterday.
Oh, no.
Chiitan, National Ambassador for Japanese Tourism.
Hi.
Beloved Chiitan, doing goofy, silly, whimsical little activities to, I guess, just generally promote the idea of Japan.
Correct.
What animal do you think Chiitan is?
I was thinking, I was going to give three answers, and they're all kind of all over the place.
Okay.
I was like weasel, mouse, bear. Those are the three.
All of that lands.
You know, like those. I'm trying to triangulate.
Weasel, I feel Weasel and rat actually have been kind of ruined by the mafia as terms.
Right.
They
He's a little
mean.
rat.
You little rat. You trying to weasel out of something, huh?
Yeah.
Bear could be kind of a plushy,
yeah,
cute
like a little
teddy
tiny
bear.
cutesy bear. Yeah.
Would it be so messed up if I told you that Chiitan is an otter? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, actually, he's a 0-year-old fairy baby.
What the hell?
Yeah,
excuse me.
You're such a fucking idiot, dude.
His hat's a turtle? What's going on?
He wears a turtle as a hat.
I didn't even think about. I just thought it was
Otter
like a cute
does
little
kind of
face.
make sense though. Now
He's
that I
got
think
the
about
ears.
it,
He's an otter, and that does bring into some. I love those little guys.
otters.
Maybe my favorite ever.
I do like
very
otters.
fun.
Yeah,
I like that so much of their life is spent on what they think is work. I like when animals
They
think
hold
they have
hands?
jobs. They hold hands. They play with cups. I love
I
these
haven't
little
seen them
dudes.
play with cups. What do they do with cups?
There's like a classic clip of an otter playing with, taking different sizes of cup, putting them together, a little
doing
game.
competitive cup stacking.
Oh, he's crushing it, dude.
Yeah.
He's doing the cup song.
Yeah, right. They actually based it off of an otter.
It's really impressive.
It's actually appropriation.
But they do.
Anna Kendrick should be ashamed.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a viral clip from many moons ago, I think, at this point, where it's an otter playing with like stacking cups, and they'll unstack them and throw them back in the water, and the otter will cup them up. And at one point, one of the zookeepers throws a improperly stacked set where one of the bigger ones is in the other one, and the otter starts doing it, realizes they're improperly stacked, and looks at the woman.
Oh,
that's great.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Excuse-moi." He speaks, if you can believe it.
Yeah, he does speak.
He says, "I'm Japanese."
It's funny that you mentioned Chiitan, because I've also been thinking of Chiitan lately, Japan's crazy mascot. Chiitan
But as a summary for people that don't know,
Yeah.
it's just a mascot that does slapstick primarily.
does slapstick, and the reason that I think everybody's talking about it is because we're some of the last people that still use X, the Everything app.
Oh, what do
formerly
people use
known
for
as
everything?
Twitter. Yeah, I don't know.
Groceries.
They use like an individual thing for everything. Everyone's left X as like an advertiser because every day Elon comes up with some new, like he just like lost the entire country of Brazil.
God, where'd I put it?
Yeah.
Oh, bugger.
And all the advertisers leave. And then every day I see a tweet that goes, Coca-Cola and Apple used to advertise on this app, and it'll be like Elon posting a AI image of himself like in doing something ridiculous. I don't even want to say
like a Bitcoin collab with Snoop Dogg or something.
Yeah, I don't even want to say the things I've actually seen because I'm afraid we might get demonetized. But then
that's because YouTube's the nothing app.
Yeah,
They don't
YouTube's the
allow
nothing
anything.
app. The one thing that brings a smile to my face, it brightens my day every single time, is an ad that presumably is paid for by like the Japan Tourism Board or something that
The only
to
one still in.
to promote Chiitan, and it goes, "Hi, I'm Chiitan, Japan's crazy mascot," and it's him like suplexing somebody or like using a flamethrower like chainsaw on something.
See, that is what the Everything app's lack of censorship allows us to see. It's
Yeah.
a violent 0-year-old fairy baby otter doing like a stone cold stunner on like the president. Or
Exactly.
something.
That's what I want. And Chiitan's ready to give the people what they want, and that's why I was alerted in our podcast group chat that Chiitan was streaming on TikTok.
Hell yeah.
And I screen recorded some of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I want to show you guys some of this. It does feel like the guy behind the camera is like, Domo arigato.
No worries, Chiitan.
Thank you, Chiitan.
What is the iPad for? That's not where they're streaming from.
I think it's where Chiitan can read the chat.
Oh, that's the live convo. I can't believe Chiitan can see anything. Just spinning it off out of frame. I just depressed. It is hard to riff with just an office chair. That's pretty much all
I mean,
is.
I feel like they're doing it perfect.
Sitting, yeah. It's like they're doing emotes. Oh. Move a little.
No, Chiitan.
180.
Come on, no, Chiitan's like, come on.
What a 0-year-old fairy baby. I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the bow tie part of their skin? What's going on there? Their belly button's out.
Yeah, the belly button's out. The gigantic boots. I was really
I noticed before that, by the way, that the shoulders are contained within the head. So it does look like they're like nervous. Like their shoulders are like way up. Like, whoa, hey.
It is ambitious to do a TikTok live stream where they could very much accidentally reveal that. Oh, right. There's also Chiitan with Thor's hammer.
Is that the real one?
This is the first. This actually chronologically came first.
Chiitan's not worthy, surely.
It feels like someone's playing like a. Oh no, Chiitan, don't.
Chiitan's instinct is to smash like such a
It is very interesting that of the people who can hold Mjolnir, Chiitan is one of them.
Smash their own hand?
The people inside of mascot suits in general, I have so much respect for them.
Oh, dude.
We can stop this.
I forget, like a midsummer Mets game in the suit, and you have to jump, or like was it a gritty? That little, that creepy one?
The creepy one, yeah.
Furry suit.
Yeah.
In the heat, running around, grabbing people.
The mascot for Georgia Tech, Buzz, the person in the Buzz costume was always like running up and down the sidelines and
Can
like
I see this
doing
guy? Has he got a little
gymnastics.
stinger or something?
Yeah, it's very cute.
Nice.
Yeah, you could look at Buzz, Georgia Tech mascot. But yeah, the person in the Buzz costume is always like the most athletic, as athletic as the football players on the field.
The guy on the left, he seems genuinely bothered by the hornet, the bee.
I don't know. Wait, yeah, what is a yellow jacket? Can we Google that?
Buzz Lightyear or something.
Wasp.
Oh, are they different?
Yeah, they are.
What's a wasp doing?
I think wasps are carnivorous.
Oh, that's rude.
That's
so they're just mean.
Bees they eat pollen.
Oh. Sorry. What is the point of looking like this if you're not doing honey? That's like the whole... Like bumblebees are so cute.
Wait. There's so many different... There's so many similar things. But yeah, bee is like a misnomer because everyone thinks it's a bee, but...
Do you think it's like when... If you say like you're a YouTuber or you do a podcast and someone goes like, oh, you do like Mr. Beast stuff?
Yeah, like are you on Twitch? Do you do streaming?
No, there's like a bunch of different types of bee actually. But you do honey, right? You make honey?
No, unfortunately. Why the difference
Social
matter.
structure.
I mean, they do have interesting social
Republicans.
structures. Yeah. Okay, I got another one. So this one I got at Pokemon Worlds.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
the real one.
What I kept laughing about was it felt like the instructions. So this was someone, this was during the medaling ceremony where they were like giving people their trophies and stuff. And it's amazing. And congrats to all the competitors. I loved watching the competing. It feels like Pikachu got the note to never stop moving. Okay, so just,
hey, what else do you tell him?
So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Oh, geez, that's a lot of movement. I'm getting tired looking at him. He's wiggling his arms around. Tilting around. Whoa! He's drumming. He's maybe starting to gas a little bit. Okay. He's too big. I'll say
I think he's perfect size.
but I just mean like not canon.
It's very funny because there's tiny Pikachus on the trophies.
Oh, that must be weird for him.
Yeah.
It's like if Oscar hosted the Academy Awards.
This is, by the way, a few minutes in, and I was like, I have to film this.
It's Louis. He has to do little squats. Yeah, is there a kid in there? What? Like, how do they?
Well, so yeah, there's junior, seniors, and masters divisions.
Oh no, I mean, is there a kid in the suit?
Oh, I do believe it's a small adult. For labor reasons.
That because kids can't move that much.
Yeah,
they have to get better twins.
They don't have a stronger core. There's other.
They're terrible at battling. I'll say it.
Sorry, I got more.
As someone that's fought a bunch of kids.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was so passionate about mascots. So the first thing I want to show is the bravest children I've ever seen, because if I was faced with a Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley that were that freaking large.
Well, that's insane.
Yeah, they also look incredible.
They look really good.
Yeah, it's like
they made that Quaxley extra tall through the hair. I like that. I like they didn't balance him out.
Yeah, the pompadour.
He's huge. I mean, god damn, dude. I was very as a little kid, I would like get very distressed by anything that was like the wrong size.
Yeah,
that was the thing. Fireworks were too big. I'm like, that's too much. This is like more than should happen. That's too much. A truck should you should just have a regular car.
Yeah, anything that's the wrong size. Like, I don't even want to say giant spider, but if I think about giant spider, very scary, very scary.
Okay, you a big gator.
Now, I believe, a big gator, like an extra large gator, that's
really
scary.
Big.
Or even, like a Komodo dragon or something. It's just like entirely weird. Too big lizard.
It's too big, but not big enough for me to just write it off as an alligator.
Yeah, I'm like, but that's also a dinosaur is what I'm looking at here.
And it does eat you. Like it does bite you and stuff.
But so at Universal Studios, they have mascots for Super Mario World. And one of them is Toad. So my question is how is someone in there moving around?
Those boots.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's actually 4 puppeteers inside each limb. It's like Voltron. There's a head.
I think the head is like much higher.
Yeah, it's got to be like up here.
And they have like a series of mirrors and or cameras.
How are they? Show me the arm movements. How articulated are they? Because
I'm almost wondering if those are like strings or something.
Yeah, because he's not able to like move them.
It's just
on
like
an
up
x-axis.
And down.
Yeah, you're right.
He moves like what motion is he doing? Can he only move that one?
Can you find the one where somebody gets scared by one of the mascots?
At Mario World?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I've seen this one. Dude.
It's like knocking over bowling pins.
And little ball dances. There's something going on there with he's got more movement with the legs. I think the boots are probably secure.
Accelerate in that costume.
Yeah, how do you push? Using what leverage? I don't know. He's got no legs.
And then he bounces up and down laughing.
I'm just playing. Psych. Oh. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good.
What's the latest?
I'm doing bad, actually.
Pick a lane.
Yeah. Just been sad a lot lately. Haven't slept well.
Yeah, that's always a bit of a chicken egg.
Yeah.
Right? Am I sleeping bad because I'm not doing well? Or
yeah, I think I'm making progress towards some of the stuff that I'm trying to do that is going to be helpful for the long term, but my habits are like out of whack right now. Like I don't think I'm getting outside enough and like getting active as much as I'd like to. So, but tomorrow's another day.
You feel like there's a catalyst, or it doesn't always, I mean, usually there won't be.
Yeah, I would say, unfortunately, no. It's just like the normal stuff, the normal horrors. And I had to stop taking one of my medications for a different thing I'm starting soon. So at least that was probably the catalyst from a few weeks back. But now it's just kind of like adjusting to the new normal, I think. I know that if I do certain things, it will improve my mood, but oftentimes the problem is like the executive function to like do those things that I know will help.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like you got to dress for the job you want, but you need a job to buy the suit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's also not like they're habits because they fall through. They're habits because you get it back. Or like, you ever play like a roguelike where you're intended to die over and over and over again, but every time you play, you get permanent upgrades. You lose. It's kind of like you lose assets, but not wisdom.
Right.
And I think like you now at least know what a functional habit looks like, and then every time you drop, you have more. Ready. You have upgrades.
Yeah, I've been out of habits just generally for a while, and I like have the desire to get back on the horse with a lot of them, but it's like the intention doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna be able to do the action at the like when I want to. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. How about yourself?
Same boat. I mean, I still don't have a driver's license. That's like absurd to me. It's all I want, and I can't do it because I just can't do anything.
Yeah,
it's been like a couple years.
Yeah, I feel that.
I was talking to Katie about it the other day because I'm just like, I'm like bored of not having some outlet that I'm really like. There was this like high momentum, burn myself out and not work the most efficiently, but I would do it. I would like go. And if I wasn't going, I would have a little faith in the Jordan who will come back in a couple of weeks, even if he's maybe doing a little too much. He's doing something.
Right.
And now I just don't.
Yeah.
And part of that I do think is like you just change as you get older, not just physically, but you kind of. I think burning the midnight oil kind of permanently slows the engine a little bit.
Yeah.
It is like I think we've both had our grind periods where it was full choice. Like,
right.
I don't remember what that was like anymore, but that part of your brain where you just go like, no, I'm going to go crazy on this.
Yeah. I definitely think I like had like a lot of experience with burnout a few years ago, and I'm still like picking up the pieces.
It was like a hangover.
Yeah.
But like you aren't properly hydrated. You like don't know what to drink and eat.
Yeah. That being said though, if you ever, I mean, for me, sometimes it's like helpful to like someone to like sit with me while I do things. So if there's any way that I can help with
I would love to do that. If I could
Yeah.
come round to ambiently work or meet
Yeah,
somewhere
absolutely.
to do that. I think the thing right now is like I love my at my place, right? Like I'm comfy there. The longest I've been in an apartment for like a decade. Love it. But something changed. I just can't work in that space anymore.
I know.
I don't know what happened. A couple of years ago, something has shifted in my brain, and going to minus the car, there's really not many places where I can go to like work at a little cafe without dropping $20 on an Uber.
For sure, yeah. I will say that like that definitely tracks with me in and there's just a thing about like it's very, I know that you know, I don't want to diminish the value and flexibility of like working from home and stuff, but for my own brain, sometimes it's very difficult to have like my comfort space be so close to my workspace because because comfort is so close that it feels hard to like switch my brain into like discomfort mode or like work mode or focus mode because I just have all of my comforts available,
more available than even the work or the grind I have to do is usually self-contained to a specific area and needs a lot of like, you know, need my computer set up and I need to be here and I need to be focused and I need the right temperature and blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, if I want to do something leisurely, I turn on the PS5 and I sit down.
The path of least resistance, like you kind of want to make it set up an environment where like the path of least resistance allows you to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
And then, but at home for me, a lot of times the path of least resistance is to do something of comfort or to not do the things. And then to kind of coddle or self-soothe the bad feelings of not doing the things I'm supposed to do. Cause like even that is more available and feels like it tricks my brain into like thinking that feels just as good or better than just doing the thing I need to do.
Yeah, the low home anxiety gets like, it's like how, you know, tinnitus, it's always there, but you learn to live. You do other things. You're like, well, what am I going to do? It'd be like if tinnitus had like a little pill I had to take, but I'm like, It's on the other side of the room.
But on the flip side, if I like leave home, then like those comforts, like it basically feels like the path of least resistance is to just, it's still not always to do exactly what I need to do, but it at least feels like it is, there's less of that. Those comforts aren't as easily accessible.
There is no like resistance on the other side of it. It's just the path.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a slippy, slidey path.
Yeah.
That actually is a set. That's why I knew about the Chiitan thing, is they just had a clip of sliding down a slip and slide. I am an otter now, or something.
There's this clip that's been going viral. I wonder if you have seen it. Have you seen the G4 clip that's going around?
No, is this modern G4?
No.
Oh, okay.
Modern G4 is dead.
Yeah, well, I lost track, but for people who don't know, G4 is what? It's what's the channel called?
G4.
Is it not originally from...
Oh, it was a channel. It was like a pay-per-view. It was like a cable channel.
It was its own channel. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
part of...
Maybe when,
I only know it as
maybe
a
during
YouTube thing.
maybe during, oh really? Okay, yeah. So back in the day, G4 was like a cable channel that like had like game content, game reviews, game news.
Welcome
like,
back, guys. Welcome back to the
like
Game
Attack
Nerd
of the
Mode.
Show was a show. That's like where like Olivia Munn got her start. Kevin Pereira.
Oh, that was within G4. Okay.
Yeah, that was that was a show on the G4 network. And I didn't have G4 because we didn't have cable, so I would acquire the episodes through other means. But
threatening people.
this clip, this is from X Play, which is a show with Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. I guess there's a lot of discourse about wokeness in games, and this is really just a marker of how far we've come, because this was on a television network on cable and it was popular, you know?
Genji's story is based on the Genji period of Japanese history. Well, we're not exactly sure how, but can you really blame us? Because who knows anything about Japanese history? There were some samurai, they periodically killed themselves, a rat learned judo, and they invented a religion that sanctifies small trees and fat guys wrestling. Then we nuked them. That's what they turned into a real country.
To see what the PS3 can do with a hack and slash that's not bound up with...
Jumping to Adam Sessler after that. That was like the George Bush doesn't care about black people moment with Mike Myers, and then they're like,
Yeah.
all right, and another launch title for the PlayStation 3.
The fact that that's on a teleprompter
God damn. And
and you just have to sell it.
I was saying, she did a pretty good job.
Well, I mean,
She
like,
delivered
it's
that
not her
well.
fault. Like, I don't think she wrote it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She played it just right. Adam Sessler's in his perfectly squared posture that he has.
Perfectly squared, thumbs in pockets.
That was that's an error.
Yeah.
Thumb in the thumb pocket or thumb out of pocket while walking with hands in pockets.
For some reason, with the button up, it feels like a thing of an era.
Yeah, something's going on there.
Wait, okay. What does Adam Sessler even say here?
See what the PS3 can do with a hack and slash that's not bound up with a complex storyline like the vast pageant of Japanese history. Here's our review of Untold Legends.
Why?
What is
I don't understand why the writer is so anti-Japanese history.
It's for a PlayStation show. Like this is
It like doesn't make any
not
sense.
gonna like that.
They're like, we get it. We don't. Who cares?
blah
Like,
blah blah.
blah
Great.
blah blah.
Raw fish on rice. Okay, what? Who cares?
Whatever. That's wild.
Dude. That was we hear her statement again because it is like completely unrelated to the first half of the sentence.
It is. Yeah.
Genji is a PS3 launch title that no one cared about. To have this much ire about it.
It is.
Weird.
It is like it feels very much like Tosh.0 or The Soup, when Joel McHale would host The Soup and just like say something really like evocative, like controversial, deadpan humor that's like, as long as you say it with a straight face, it's ironic or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Genji's story is based on the Genji period of Japanese history.
Okay.
Well, we're not exactly sure how, but can you really blame us? Because who knows anything about Japanese history? There were some samurai, they periodically killed themselves, a rat learned judo, and they invented a religion that sanctifies small trees and fat guys wrestling. Then we nuked them. That's what they turned into a real country.
That
That's
line
the craziest
is-
line.
That is like this is like one of those comedian does crowd work ones where like the crowd's kind of with him and I'm like, okay, wrap up the bit. You've pushed it a little. Oh, I don't know, man. All right, they're booing.
It's such a weird.
The face
I like.
afterwards is very
I
funny.
don't even understand what the joke is supposed to be.
Well, it's based on the history, the Genji period of Japan. We don't even know how. What do you mean?
We don't even know how, because we can't look it up.
This
Even
new
though
movie-
it's like a pre-written thing, right?
If someone was like, hey, first of all, the press release for the game definitely doesn't end at it's based on this period. Anyway, what are you doing
Which
today?
doesn't freaking matter because who freaking cares about
You
it?
kill herself sometimes.
At least, and then like one of the most like horrific war crimes ever committed.
It's like the single event.
Yeah, exactly. And then going, yeah, that's when they became a real country.
So
Is
that just happened.
insane. But again, it's like
Cutting away.
it's like this. There's no excuse for it. I just want to make sure that this woman doesn't get too much hate because it's not like she scripted it herself.
Or that it had like some huge global impact. It is just some weird edgelord shit.
Yeah, I was like,
happened.
I don't recall this being controversial at the time.
I don't think this shifted anyone's perspective on like Japanese history.
But I guess it's like because the audience for this is like 13-year-old boys.
Imagine,
you know what I mean?
Imagine like it's a new Gladiator movie coming out, right? We don't really know what it's about. We just know Ridley Scott's making a new one, which there was kind of a trailer for it. Imagine somebody comes along to you and they're like, yeah, there's a Gladiator movie and it's set in ancient Rome. Nobody knows how.
Nobody knows how.
What do you mean?
All we
That's
know is
it.
that they had an ancient civilization and then fucking it crumbled. Like, who fucking cares?
Like, what
dude?
other details do you need?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of the game? Is it's going to walk you through the story? There's going to be a story that you can follow as a gamer.
It's mythological too. It's like
Yeah.
fantasy. I think it's set in the Genji period in the same way that like the day after tomorrow was set on Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's like, I don't understand. It's like very hard now, detached from this period, to understand the X-Play period, which we don't really care about the X-Play period. I don't really know.
Took on too much investment from people who weren't sure what they were doing.
Yeah.
Scripted strange monologues for a show that's
Yeah,
about
tried
little
to
troubles.
bring it back. I want to say, was it Comedy Central that they like brought it back with? Or?
That I don't know. I've only ever seen it as a reference point to shows I know of. Mm-hmm. Like kind of like how like Screw Attack wasn't a show, but everything inside Screw Attack was its own shows.
Yeah.
Shingle.
G4. I would watch Attack of the Show. I would like pirate Attack of the Show because I didn't have G4.
Sorry?
Sorry, I am a bit of a pirate.
From stealing stuff?
Just from just in the voice I was using.
okay.
Yeah. And I would watch Attack of the Show.
That's cool that pirates got away with just not being called thieves. They came up with like a...
I've been watching...
No, we're pirates. It's something else.
Oh, wait. I want to watch this one. I've been watching old episodes of X-Play, and it's interesting to see how quote-unquote gamers felt about Metal Gear Solid 2 at the time. Okay, so this one's got a bit of a lore, because do you remember... You know the big thing with Metal Gear Solid 2, right?
Which big...
So Metal Gear Solid 2... The start of the game, you're playing a Solid
the
Snake.
big thing in the game. I thought you meant like about the reaction to it.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that's what
stuff.
it's going to be. That's what it's going to be about. And I think that nowadays people hold I enjoyed playing Metal Gear Solid 2, but it was the first one I ever played, so I had no tie to Solid Snake.
Yeah, I think by a lot of people still widely considered the best one.
I think it's like it's viewed very, but this is like from the time.
To blow it out of the water at the touch of this button. To the Patriots. The Lale Lule Lo.
So it's the cutscenes alone.
My old Steam handle was Ocelot Revolver.
That's cool.
And it was a cat with like a gun.
That's cute.
Yeah, because Revolver Ocelot's a character in Metal Gear Solid.
And of course, who's to say how much of him is liquid and then how much of his Revolver Ocelot later in the story? And he's also very important in the events of both 3 and later Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain.
But yeah, that was my Counter-Strike handle, and I had a spray. My spray in Counter-Strike was Ocelot Revolver.
And you would you said you were pirating stuff?
No.
So you're a thief in the lie. Oh, well, I like him again.
I was playing a character. Parked the car in Harvard Yard.
Oh, whoa, it's Boston Pirate.
I'm from Boston.
I went to Yale, didn't I?
I like clam chowder.
It's very regional.
Clam chowder.
Oh, whoa.
All right.
Is there the ocean to go into for you?
I don't know.
You're a landlocked pirate.
I'm a landlubber.
How's that possible? Otacon, we have a problem.
I was thinking the same thing. Now, I don't think I'm the only one to have this problem with Metal Gear Solid 2. And to be fair, Metal Gear Solid 2 isn't the only game to have this problem. but for a game that is so high profile, it was a great disappointment to have so many moments where I wasn't able to play the game. Especially at the beginning of the second level.
But that's...
You watch an interminable cutscene only to have very unengaging gameplay follow. You just walk down a hall, at the conclusion of which, you then watch another cutscene. Following that, you're walking down a hall only to watch another cutscene.
Did I tell you you could move?
It is really interesting because it's like, I do feel like this is, I'm not an expert on like game history of this type, but it does feel like there is this shift of, especially like Hideo Kojima being like one of those games as cinema people, like guy who really wants to make movies or whatever, found himself making games. And but I do think that nowadays I feel like there's a lot more of this.
It's like a foundational game for this exact reason, and I feel like everyone that complained about it, no one actually had the experience of like, I'm bored because this isn't interesting. It was, I am going to say I'm bored because I'm actually just bothered. I'm bothered that this feels religiously wrong. It's like if you go, oh God, to a Catholic, they don't actually really care about the word. They don't think God's going to hit them with lightning, but they're like, you don't do that. These are games and movies are something else. I was that. I once left, one of the only comments I ever left on anything was on The Escapist for now Stephanie, but Stephanie Sterling posted a review at Heavy Rain. And I remember being a complete piece of shit in the comments going like, this belief that the movies are better than games and games must become movies is toxic and ultimately dangerous for the art form. And I'm like, that is such a lazy take because it just, what I'm actually saying is like, the art form should be limited. We shouldn't explore things and do weird. You walk down the hallway, bad game.
Bad game.
The game is actually, I would have much rather there's nothing breaking up the
There's so
cutscenes.
much gameplay in the game.
I mean, yeah, I guess there's that part where it is back to back, but there's also huge stretches of not there.
But it's funny because that criticism like would continue to be applied. Like Metal Gear Solid 4, I think had it like, or even 5, where it's like just mostly cutscenes or whatever.
4 is a lot of cutscenes, but it's also a lot of story.
Yeah,
and it's I don't know. It's like when people complain about long albums. I'm like, well, did you like the songs? If not, you just don't like the songs. It's like, that's not the length.
I guess
of the
it's like
album
if what you want from your gaming experience. But the thing is, like, it's like gaming as immersive storytelling versus like as mechanical pressing controls and like getting the mechanical catharsis of like killing guys or whatever.
It's a genre and like I mean, all art, right? It's just different mediums are different palettes. And it's not that there's no crossover and that you can't experience some things, but you could argue that like fear is something that's transferable between horror movies and horror games, but regret is not really something you can deliver in a non-interactive medium because you cannot do enough action. Maybe guilt, maybe it can like evoke something, but those are much better suited to stuff like this. Everything has its medium. Dark Souls atmosphere can only be in that kind of experience. If it's broken up by a lot of cutscenes telling you what the experience is, that might get in the way, change your relationship with it. But there's like,
yeah, it's your Dark Souls versus your like Heavy Rain, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's not. It's just never. I don't know.
Those are Telltale, right? Or who makes those?
Heavy Rain. There's a Quantic Dream, led by David Cage, a terrible man. I mean, it's Naughty Dog gets some flack for this now. Yeah. Actually, Last of Us 2 criticism was more about what happens in the story, but the game structure of The Last of Us in particular, and I mean all the Uncharted games, it's like, hey, well, this isn't really taking advantage of what games can be uniquely. Like, I guess, but I feel like taking advantage of what games can be is doing everything across a wide spectrum of releases. Why does this game need to deliver on
Not everything
the thing?
has to be everything for everyone.
They didn't.
Yeah.
You know about Dark Souls. It came out.
Yeah.
There's actually quite a few of them.
Wait, why isn't this Dark Souls? I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Why isn't every game Dark Souls?
Dark Souls is based on the semi-medieval period of a fictional world. I don't know how. How?
Can somebody...
I don't think it's real. I don't know how they went back in time.
Yeah.
That's such a funny sentiment. I don't know how.
I'm not saying that Metal Gear Solid 2 shouldn't have a story, but the game shouldn't have to stop down to have to tell it and then have gameplay that does nothing to forward the narrative. Now, another game that uses the same device and has as convoluted a story as Kojima's title is Deus Ex. But in this game, the cutscenes are spaced apart, and you see them after a long session of gameplay. It's almost like it's a reward.
Deus Ex is a good, I feel almost like the Dark Souls in this dichotomy equivalent. Plus, it's dialogue options. Though you are having that, which you do not do in Metal Gear.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like they just cherry picked that particular section, I guess.
And all the cutscenes, well, most of the cutscenes in Deus Ex, all the dialogue exchanges are wide shot of the person you're talking to, closer shot of your character, back and forth, mouth moving, no body movement, to choose dialogue options and be done and go back to the immersive sim game. And
also, funny, he's talking about story stuff when Baldur's Gate is like front row center.
So that is all. I mean, sure, there's more clicking, but it's crazy to say there's like no value to the way they're delivering that. Also, shout outs to Red Faction, a game no one remembers. Very interesting. Is this like a little smorgasbord of games supposed to be like, this is who does it right?
I don't know. I don't know why he's surrounded by games.
Look out, Adam!
Body's being consumed by games.
It's like the end of Akira. It's like he's becoming cartridges. What is that game on the left? I don't recognize that at all.
It looks like it says Metropolis, but it doesn't. It says, I don't fucking know.
Wearing like a beret? How? It's said in a Metropolis, but I don't know how.
Is Conker's Bad Fur Day, where you really want to see the cutscenes because they're so funny, but you only earn them after solving a puzzle within the game.
I hate these guys.
Games might not be the
Conker's
right venue
Bad
to
Fur
tell
Day?
tales of that nature, and game makers might want to step out of the shadow of other media. Games are games. Movies are movies. If you want a bunch of plot twists, there's always Dick.
There's what?
There's always what?
Dick?
There's always Dickin?
If you want more story.
There's always Dick.
Dickens.
Dickens.
Yes. That's the one. Yeah. That's
If you want no plot twists in my games, please.
You know who loves plot twists? Charles Dickens.
Check it out. It was the best of times. Hold on. It was the worst of times.
Your shit got twisted.
That's such a
Your head
Shyamalan
explodes.
move. But see, I said so much of the same shit. I think specifically because I was like, gatekeeper, this is my thing. Gaming is my thing, and you're going to ruin it if you try and make it other stuff. Which is like, that's a child's mind. And Adam Sessler went on to be, funnily enough, when I was really into Adam Sessler's work, it was when he did Rev 3, and his Rev 3 review of The Last of Us is glowing and largely about the direction of the cutscenes. So a lot of change, and it's not even a criticism of him necessarily. Plus, a lot of the reviews for companies like this are kind of written homogeneously by sources, whatever.
Yeah.
But it is just such a funny, like, the caption for this has been watching old episodes of X-Play, okay, and it's interesting to see
it's an
how
interesting choice.
I missed a bunch of stuff. I want to learn about Genji 2.
Yeah.
Gamers feel about Metal Gear Solid 2 at the time. And it is about Metal Gear Solid 2 technically, but I feel like it is more about like, it's the same sentiment taken to a way less extreme that Gamergate is born out of.
Yeah.
But that's also born out of like hate for women. But it does feel like the same, like, no, this
like,
is mine.
It's like you put bananas in their peanut butter sandwich and they were like, let fruit be fruit. Yeah.
No peanut butter on the bread. The bread is the bread.
The bread is the bread. Don't stop putting this in. It's like, wait, these can be good together and they can be good separate.
No. I eat from a pile of salt and then I eat a single peanut without the shell, of course. Then I eat the shell by itself.
Right, of course.
Where's my butter?
But mainly I just wanted to show you that first clip because I saw it on my feed and it was insane.
I know obviously says something more crazy, but the part that is sticking with me is, I don't know. We don't know how.
We don't know how.
Why? You haven't played it. Nobody does.
Yeah, you got to play the game.
Yeah. Apparently it's on a console.
Well, apparently they don't read they don't care about the story. So it's like, these are both just very anti-story clips. Because it's like adults having to cater to a teenager's like attention span. Who freaking knows? I'm just pressing A through all the dialogue
What a
options.
bunch of BS.
Plus there's like, even the aesthetic, it's so funny that we still had to do this. Be like, I'm in my gamer, Dad.
I'm being swallowed alive by games.
I'm paying a mortgage, but I'm in my gamer zone.
Yeah, I've got my 3 monitors.
I've got my race car bed.
Did game boxes used to be that big?
Yeah,
for PC.
Yeah, literally for PC, it would be like a big ass game box with like 1 disc inside and like a bunch of air.
Jacob, I don't know if this is gonna make you jealous, but I did have from a TJ Maxx. I did TK Maxx in the UK. Don't even get me started. I did get a secondhand PC copy of the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes game, and it was about that size. Did it work when I put it in my computer? No, it breaks my computer. Not sure why.
Have you bought a processor recently? Because it's very funny the size of box they come in.
Oh, dude, it's like it's literally they still have the like it's the Dragon Explosion brand killer style.
It's like it'll be like this big, and then the box will be like this big, and it's got a little window into it. And then you open it and you realize it's just all a big presentation box. Like you found an ancient relic, like in a museum.
Protecting a fossil in transit to the vet.
Like everything could have fit in a CD jewel case that was sold as a DVD or a CD. But they were like, but it looks better.
Then the PS3, I think PS3 onwards. No, PS3 onwards. They went to the Blu-ray size disc case. And the disc stayed the same size.
Oh, yeah.
GameCube went full, but made the disc small.
Not to mention the Nintendo DS and 3DS. They have like CD size cases, but the cartridge is little tiny, teeny weeny.
You guys know how they're like Switch games, they taste bad?
Oh, right. Switch games also.
Teeny weeny.
Teeny weeny, and then in an even larger case.
You know,
and they do taste bad.
They taste really
And I know that
bad.
from firsthand experience.
Paste. That tastes good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Play-Doh?
Nintendo cartridge. Blow out the dust, take a bite.
Mm-hmm.
It's not working, take a bite.
They put like a chemical on it so that a kid would not think it tasted good.
Yeah, they do that to batteries too.
Oh.
Why do you know that? Getting charged up.
My thought is like, why did they need to do that for batteries?
I thought batteries tasted bad. I thought that's just...
Like coin-size batteries.
Oh, the coin ones.
Oh, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
I'm trying to, because kids often try to put new things in their AirTags or their watches, and they're like, "I'll take a bite."
Also, I have a lot to say about Magic the Gathering, and we are still deep in it. But today we're gonna separate that and do a little. We're gonna put it on our Patreon, but for free, because you can sign up as a free member on Patreon. And so it'll just be like an unedited segment of us.
Like a second channel upload.
Yeah. And also you can, sign up for Patreon for free. You can see what else we're offering there. But no, this is just going to be a free post. And we're going to look at, we're going to talk about some Magic stuff and then also look at the Duskmourn spoilers because those have been starting. And I want to look at the cards. We'll look at the cards together.
With that, and leave you peons, you cowards who aren't planeswalkers like us to your going to a football game.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Whatever, dude. Games are not movies, and sports is bad.
And I don't know the lore. I don't know the story because I don't read it.
I'm not a sports ball kind of guy, those are the worst people in the world.
So, Jacob, you come to us bearing a ring.
Knife.
An engagement ring.
An engagement ring.
You were becoming engaged to the podcast. No, you've got a story about Ringgate that you're going to expose us to for the first time. But you've written in such a fun way. It says Ringgate, theft, or extortion.
Ooh. Which one is it?
That's the question.
And I guess we'll be the judge, jury.
You'll be the judge of that.
Okay.
Or the jury.
And not the executioner.
Not the executioner.
We're not. Yeah.
I'm the executioner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're Judge Steve Harvey, and you have to do the voice.
Nope.
Can I be the bailiff?
The bailiff who they always cut to, and they're always like, knock it off.
Yeah. Look, one of these.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got real bailiffs, and they're like,
Ooh. Actually, no, wait. You, judge, juryman, singular. It's a one-man jury.
the royal we.
We are Jarvis.
Yeah, I start speaking like Goting.
You're a bunch of
Two
flies.
voices, yeah.
And I will be John Wick.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh no, I'm Goku. With all the powers, and I'm Master Chief. I have Master Chief's armor, and I'm Goku, and I have a Lexus.
Fuck you. That's not fair.
Oh, well.
Okay,
I have to be in the jury. I have to do jury duty, and you get to be Master Chief Goku.
First of all, I'm in the military, so salute me, please.
You get to be Master Chief and Goku.
I'm a Master Chief. Is that real? Is like Master Chief a level?
Yeah, like
rank,
a rank.
Okay, so this is Chelsea King.
She evolved from Chelsea Goldine. Sorry, it's a little Pokemon joke.
Play it again louder.
Sea King is a part of her name, which is fun.
Yeah, that's something there.
Sea King.
Come on, guys.
True.
The
It's
fish.
spelled wrong, but
Well, that's spelled like the Pokemon, actually.
Jacob.
oh, Sea King.
Sea King,
I
as
see.
in Goldine's evolution.
Jacob, you're acting like you've not been paying your legally required amount of Pokemon Go every week in order to get workers' comp.
No, I have. I promise.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. The new season and the new starters, the Galar starters, came to Pokemon Go today, so I'm probably gonna do that after this.
Keep that in mind, Jacob.
Okay. So this is Chelsea King. She's a self-proclaimed small indie artist.
Who's supposed to proclaim it?
Yeah, I guess.
The council hasn't.
Her boyfriend was going to have a ring fitted with a new gemstone, and this ring was like a family heirloom. And she'll get into more of this, but basically there was an issue, and
Trouble in Paradise.
Trouble in Paradise, and so she took, like many people, to TikTok.
Yes.
To voice her frustrations.
Okay.
My first instinct is when I have an interpersonal thing going on, I'm like, I need more contributors.
King Jewelers lost my 4th generation family heirloom engagement ring and my boyfriend's $10,000 crystal and is refusing to pay us. Now they are a massive company with several locations. They might be a corporation, and they know that I am just a little indie musician and my boyfriend is a tennis player, so they think that they can get away with not paying us. But I'm bringing it to TikTok and hoping that you guys can do your magic. If you've been following me for a long time, you know I'm a little bit of a woo-woo hippie, and so is my boyfriend. We spent about a year working with these shamans to help us heal and unblock our chakras. They did an amazing job. Now, my partner Dawson and I have done several past life regressions.
What's a bad job?
My chakras are still blocked.
Dude, I went to. This is actually another company I'm having an issue with.
Yeah.
I worked with King Chakras, and they gave me more chakra, or blocked them more.
Yeah, I have to find a chakra plumber to like unclog my chakras. No, I don't want to, because it's like the only reason we're making fun of it is because they're two white people.
Oh yeah, dude. And they use flushable wipes in their chakras. That's the issue.
But while we were working with these shamans, he purchased this $10,000 Tanzanite.
Pause.
He bought it?
I just feel like the sentence, while we were working with these shamans, he purchased a $10,000 Tanzanite
on Amazon. Like he's on his phone while they're doing the session. What are you doing? I just ordered it. God damn it. 2-day delivery.
Okay, I want to focus on, the bad thing that happened to them, but it's like so hard for me to relate to that sentence.
To be fair, they just know I'm a little indie musician and he's just some tennis player.
He's
and I'm
just
like,
some tennis
interesting
player. So
statement.
anyway,
With
2 shamans and $10,000
liquid dollars. That is a weird. He's a tennis player. Okay, that is a very wide spectrum. That's like saying he plays college football. I'm like, well, for what college? How well? What position? And how old?
Yeah,
and where? And then like,
is he? Are we talking like a challenger situation? Like, is he a Patrick or is he an Art?
Oh, you know what I mean. I've seen it.
Stone. It's like the biggest Tanzanite I've ever seen, straight from the mines in Tanzania.
Okay. No worries.
Okay. It's straight. I don't love it straight from the mines.
Blood on it.
I'll tell you what. I don't love that it's straight from
We
the
got
mines.
it straight from his father's mine.
No, stop. Wait, I was on your side, but now I was slightly off your side with the shamans, and now you're starting to lose me.
And the shamans used this crystal to heal him and cut some ties from his past life. Specific tie was with this evil man that unalived him. So ever since we did that, we'd been planning to put the Tanzanite
in the past life.
Gotta stop hanging out with him.
Yeah, there's an evil man in his past life that killed his past self.
Presumably that evil man is he still around, doesn't he?
That unalived his past self. I think we're deep enough in the video that YouTube's not gonna note it, but yeah.
This shaman convinced him to buy a $10,000 gemstone in order to cut ties with a person who killed him in a past life.
So is this shaman by any chance Kanye West dentist? The guy who's like allegedly got him addicted to nitrous?
Well, this same shaman part-time.
Have you
works
seen a
at
photo of Kanye West dentist? Have you seen a photo of Kanye West dentist? All right, let's go.
I didn't know he looked weird. I just know what he did was strange. Wow.
There's like photos of him just being incredibly ripped and tattooed and bald.
Oh, whatever.
The most Jack Dennis in the world.
Did he get the tattoos later? What's going on there?
I guess so.
Oh, wait. Are those 3 different Jack dentists? Yeah, they are. He's the one in the little frame.
That's
fun.
Oh, yeah. Right there. Wait. Third bottom row, right there. That right there. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
hell yeah. He dipped his pants in mustard.
And he's like bald with one of those head tattoos, like full head tattoos.
Yeah, that's a cool move. I mean,
anyway, that's what I'm imagining for this shaman who's recommending the $10,000 tanzanite.
And he gets to keep it as a tip,
They're like, all we can do is, the only thing that's going to help is the $10,000 tanzanite from the mines directly.
We can't help broke boys, so.
So ever since we did that, we'd been planning to put the tanzanite in the center of my family heirloom as our engagement ring. And then we would use the rest of the tanzanite to make earrings and rings for our eventual kids that we would have, so that we could all kind of have matching tanzanite rings.
Like a Scott Pilgrim style, like Harry Potter style Horcrux situation.
Yeah, well, the kids are twins and they each get half an amulet with half a tanzanite in them.
Right.
And when they combine them, they become a bigger kid.
They become a kid in a trench coat.
And their voices are both playing when they speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Dawson dropped off the ring and the gemstone in April to get the gemstone set in the center of my family heirloom. And I guess in May, both got stolen. But they did not tell us until July 11th. When they finally told us in July, it was because Dawson had called them 3 times in one day. He'd called them all week with no response, no updates. And then he called them 3 times in one day.
3 times in one day isn't crazy when you haven't heard about your $10,000 gem.
In fact, that it took you that long is actually a little peculiar. I think day 4 is probably when I'd be
I was
dropping
just trying to get a
How's it going?
doctor's appointment the other day. I think I called him 6 times.
Well, it's because they stole my ring.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They did steal my blood emeralds.
Yeah. Well, my father's blood emeralds, I should say, and certainly not the guy that mined it. He doesn't have anything anymore, I'll tell you that much.
So to expedite the rest of this video, once they finally did get a hold of King Jewelers, they told her that the ring was lost, and it was because
King Jewelers, by the way, great name. Just for this, if I was writing this story as fiction, King Jewelers is probably the name of it.
He's like King Candy and the Candy.
Yeah, the only better one would be Shaman Jewelers.
Diamond Thief. Shaman Jeweler, Diamond Thief. 3 power, 10 toughness.
Yeah, they told her that it had been lost in shipping because they had to send it to a third party for the tanzanite to get cut.
They'd send it to a mine
before they placed it in the ring, and that when it was getting shipped, it wasn't insured.
I don't know anything about diamonds. I know they're kind of famously hard to cut or whatever. I feel like if I'm giving my jewelry to someone that's going to put it in other jewelry, they should be able to cut jewelry.
Isn't that the one, like it's weird that I also feel like from an insurance standpoint, if you didn't sign something with them that gave them the ability to like send it off without insurance, wouldn't they be liable for it?
Yeah, it must have insurance. That's crazy. It's
so weird. Yeah, like
it's a very frugal jewelry store.
Yeah, and they're sending off a 10,000. I if I send like a $20 thing, I'm insuring it for like $20.
Dude, you can't even like if you
insurance
travel.
Isn't that? I mean, it's expensive, but it's like the reason insurance is like not crazy expensive with shipping is because it's so unlikely that something gets lost.
So, you know what, I am going to risk it? Just this one time. You know, the one time I got travel insurance on an international flight is when I was bringing my PC when I moved.
Yeah.
Just then, because of, throwing luggage and breaking shit. But, of course, my PC got stolen, so did I. I was on the plane.
Yeah, you had to send the PC off to a third party to get cut.
To play games.
To get cut into a smaller PC.
Yeah, come to think
so
of it.
So you could play Genji.
Said in Europe or something.
Yeah, weird. Also, David basically said that we should have had personal insurance. Would personal insurance help you if you willingly gave your item to someone else and then they did something to it?
It's like if the mob did it.
Yeah, it's not like they broke in and stole it. Is the poster / art behind her Kurt Cobain?
It looks like
maybe Jimi Hendrix?
And wait, who's that on the right? Oh,
And Elvis?
Is
Wait,
that Elvis?
that can't be right.
Who else is dead? Oh, is it Prince? It's Prince on the left.
Oh, okay. Is it Prince?
Maybe. Yeah, Cobain in the. Oh, and there's more on the left.
Yeah, it looks like
Chevy Chase.
I was gonna say Dick Cheney. That's my Mount Rushmore.
I died. He's in the 27 Club.
It
somehow.
does look like Elvis on the right, but
Oh wait, are these
Can-
not just dead musicians? Is that?
wait, can we do that? Yeah, can we do Lynn's on just that corner?
Steven Tyler.
Oh,
wow!
It is the 27 Club poster.
Who's that monk?
That's Armin from Attack on Titan.
I mean, yeah, he got cooked. What in the world? Oh, it's Joplin and
Oh, Morrison.
oh,
Morrison,
yeah, I
Janis
guess.
Joplin.
But who's the?
And then
who we
the
working
eye
with?
in the center. The eye in the center is pissing me off.
It's 27.
It's like the eye in the center is I have a $10,000 Tanzania
Yeah.
and I have a shaman.
So then she posts like a little bit of an update. I think either the
But-
next day.
Well, sorry about the 27 Club thing. Doesn't this poster imply a conspiracy
It
Oh, you
looks
reckon?
like it.
because of the eye thing?
Oh, I didn't even
You know
account
what
for
I
that.
mean? Yeah,
I thought maybe it was
The
just like,
Illuminati killed them or something.
right. That's like what it like feels like.
I thought it was kind of vaguely just doing like pseudo spiritual aesthetics, but very sinister. It's like
Yeah.
you'd think of because I've seen a lot of, I won't say a lot, but a handful of like
Shaman.
thigh long to
Yeah.
cleanse me from that guy I killed.
Right.
Killed me. I'm winking.
Pass.
I'm winking a bunch. Those like thigh tattoos, which are collections of like dead heroes and stuff. That's quite common. Often some on the calf and stuff. And almost always the compilation is it's just kind of feathered in between them. You know what I mean? Or it's like one head behind the other one, and then Elvis like playing the guitar. He's a little smaller, and then a really big Hendrix or something. I've never seen them being. It looks like that eye is trying to trick me. Like I love music, and it's like, come closer. Come. And these are all your favorite musicians. Wouldn't you like to join them? They're inside my mouth.
All right.
Wait. So what the ultimate conclusion was? They lost it, and she's like review bomb.
Yeah, and so she's like, leave comments like thanks for your support. A bunch of her followers went and left Google reviews. She didn't ask them to, but a bunch of her followers went and left Google reviews for the jeweler.
Yeah, that her first post had like 500,000 likes on TikTok.
I have some ring updates for y'all. I know it's only 7 a.m., but I promised I would update this process, and I plan to deliver on that promise. First, I just want to say thank you so much for blowing my video up. I have never had so many strangers willing to go to battle for me, and honestly, all of the support has been a little bit overwhelming. It's been one of the most heartwarming and validating experiences of my life, so thank you for making such a horrible situation feel so beautiful.
The light it's now being revealed how harsh this light is. Because look at how hard the shadow is being cast on this.
Yeah, it looks like it's
guitar.
making it just look like the bass is longer.
Yeah.
Like it's also, is she tiny or is it a huge bass? Because now that she's like parallel to it,
I think it's a weird angle, and then it's on the edge of the like lens. I feel like maybe there's like.
oh, it's being warped to make her look tiny.
Feels so beautiful. So after the video started doing some dummy numbers, people went over to King Jewelers and started leaving Google reviews. Also, I feel like legally I have to add, I did not ask anyone to leave Google reviews in any of my videos.
You don't legally have to see the video is available.
Legally,
Legally
I
have to
didn't
add. I
know.
didn't ask anyone to do it. No, we saw you. You didn't ask.
I also left a Google review, just detailing my process. All of the Google reviews brought their stars from 4.8 down to 3.8. And then this morning when I checked, they had deleted everyone's Google reviews, including mine and including my boyfriend's. And I think they may have disabled that feature completely, which feels very inauthentic and suspicious.
You can delete the Google reviews.
That's I don't know.
Does it change the aggregate
Because on
rate?
Yelp, people think that you can like delete reviews, but you actually like kind of can't. like maybe if they detect that something was like malicious or like sent from all the same IP or something
They
like
can
that.
report
They
it.
might
right?
have like seen an influx of a lot of negative reviews and like flagged it as like spam and removed it.
I was gonna say that feels like it could have happened for sure.
Yeah, I just don't even know what. Or at the very least, they like requested they do that because clearly there is like some kind of momentum or so.
Well, yeah, if you're having like hundreds of reviews come in from people who have never shopped at your business, then that's like
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not like just because someone's an influencer doesn't mean that their review counts as
It's not any more
1,000
valid, yeah.
reviews. Yeah.
I guess I would delete the ones that aren't 5-star. That would be the thing I do.
That's the thing. It's
probably.
like that's what everyone would do. And that's why, like you generally can't on like Yelp is the one where there's a lot of conspiracy theories about like buying reviews and stuff, but from what I know and having worked there and that's not a thing that happens, but I have no reason to protect them. But I'm pretty sure a lot of the times it's like scammers who like are basically saying that they can do something that they can't do and just trying to steal money from you.
Last night I was feeling a little bit guilty when I was seeing like all of their social media get blown up.
Only a little bit.
And I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be responsible for this business tanking?
Maybe.
Right. Yeah. Probably.
And that I still feel a little guilty about that, but my boyfriend was like, no, Chelsea, they literally brought this on themselves.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, but like the only thing is maybe a single receipt would be helpful.
It's just no, Chelsea.
And they've been deleting our Google reviews. We still don't know if that's a thing. Actually, can we Google this? Can you delete Google reviews?
I just say, yeah, I know.
Because it seems like she should have Googled it before saying it in this video, but
they can ask.
They can ask Google
if they violate Google's but Google doesn't offer a simple delete option because reviews are
I mean, yes, yeah, probably is
and
that.
Now
right?
it's probably because it was spam.
Which is they're right.
So
that's what you said.
Unfortunately, yeah. So it's weird that she's saying it feels weird that a company can delete the hundreds of review bombs that happened when a bunch of well-meaning people who saw my TikTok went to go review a business they've never.
I did not ask them to do that. They did,
and so why are they allowed to delete those? They're legitimate.
I didn't ask anyone to kill them, but I'm glad they did, and they shouldn't go.
Yeah, the question lies. The moral question is a review legitimate if it comes from someone who has never, if it comes from someone who simply heard something bad about the business?
Yeah, sure.
And I would say no, because the review is meant to, if I'm going or looking at reviews, I want them from people, not who heard something online, but people who've actually used the service.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's why the Rotten Tomatoes audience score is like worthless, because it's just going to be, all it represents is how engaged the fan base of this thing is.
Right.
Because I'm sure the Beekeeper has like a pretty reasonable audience score of just like, whatever.
I mean, Beekeeper even has a decent Metacritic review score.
But then Zack Snyder's Justice League has like 99 audience score because they're active online.
Yeah.
And it sort of feels like, I don't know, who is allowed to delete the Google reviews?
This is like when Pitchfork is like, what did they give Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter?
Ooh,
like a 7? Or it's like when Anthony Fantano gave Short and Sweet a 7 or a 6. I think he might have even given it a 7. But anyway, people
That's
were
a
like,
0, dude.
People were mad that it wasn't high enough, and it's like
6 is a 0, 7 is a 0.
I mean, that's like, I don't know. It's not as bad as you're making it out to seem. Pitchfork gave Camp by Childish Gambino a 1.6, which will forever invalidates Pitchfork to me.
Yeah, I mean, Pitchfork's like IGN, right? Which is just like an aggregate of so many people that whose opinion is this even? What is it to have a corporate review? Is almost like
that's a great point. But 1.6 is such a like that's like barely even. That feels like you're saying this isn't even music.
There isn't what I mean? Good song.
Yeah,
it has to be. Unless it's like that. Also, there's like that classic culture of you're reviewing the album as a cohesive entity, and the individual songs don't matter. It is only the combined. But I don't know.
It's just hard to imagine how. Like, I get when like Fantano didn't want to review Vultures, and that makes sense, right? But he didn't give it. I can't remember if he
didn't give it a score. Yeah,
I don't think he gave it a score out of protest. Interested. But like, it almost feels like a protest score.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
No, didn't like it. Bothered. Will not listen.
Yeah. No value whatsoever.
I think when they said that us asking to be compensating, they told the Better Business Bureau that us asking for money for our ring back was us blackmailing them.
This is because the review that they left on Better Business Bureau was asking for a $25,000 payment for the ring.
Okay. I guess because they're putting a price on the family heirloom as well.
On the family heirloom.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like, you know, it has sentimental value.
Yeah.
And then she's saying that, you know, the ring was worth at least $1,000 and this gemstone was like $10,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Which there's someone who we're going to watch that will actually look at the receipts.
Okay, wait, let's back up. I do want to see like how she gets to bringing up this photo of her boyfriend with a rabbit.
Business Bureau that us asking for money for our ring back
Right, and that's
was
when you
us
said the
blackmailing them. That's kind of when I decided I needed to go to TikTok and tell the true story of what happened. I also thought I'd show you a picture of my boyfriend. This is him with, hold on, I'll back up. Wait, that's him with the bunny that we found when we were on a hike in the woods, which clearly was someone's pet that they had dumped. And Dawson was like insistent that we bring the bunny home and give it a home and take care of it. This is the only picture I have of the ring.
If I had never seen any of these clips and you showed me that man, I would guess his name was Dawson.
Yeah, 100%.
I would have or Lance.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
One of those Disney kids with 3 names. Taylor, Lance, and Thomas.
Yeah. Russell Michael Kelly.
Yeah. This every Friday on Kid with a Rock.
Thomas Keane Andrews stars in
Emerald Mine Days. Hey, come on. You got to give me that diamond or I'll have you killed. I'm like, oh, James.
James Mark Allen.
James Mark Allen in my office right now.
Where that emerald is now would be a tanzanite if you see it on the Facebook Marketplace, and then it's surrounded in diamonds.
Relax.
I'm working on trying to get a picture of the actual raw tanzanite.
Wait, so in that world, she's saying that if someone's
steal.
selling it on Facebook Marketplace, they will have successfully done the cutting and the setting.
I thought what they said.
I thought it was lost in shipping.
Unless it came
So
back.
she, supposing
all the
that
way back to Kings.
okay,
Wait, aren't they in trouble?
But then wait, hold on. But if
well, I guess
but then what does King's Jewelers do if they were setting it off for the cutting and the setting the entire job?
Is this just a guy they know called King?
Maybe they were just doing the cutting and so
Yeah,
that
so
King's
I'm just
Jewelers would do the
it just
setting.
like doesn't make sense to me why you would see a completed ring on Facebook Marketplace. Also, if I was trying to steal it, I would just sell the emerald version.
I probably yeah. All right, I'd send them a little diamond every week till they pay the ransom.
Yeah, I think part of what she is subtly insinuating is that King's Jewelers might have been behind the theft as well.
Right, which is like is a big supposition.
I'd probably sell it in my jewelry store.
Yeah.
Would be the way I would go, actually.
But again, thank you so much for supporting us and for going to battle with us. I'm literally just a little musician. He's just a little tennis player, and it feels really nice to have like a whole team of people willing to fight this big company.
Is it a big company?
Did you guys watch the Olympics?
Yeah.
I mainly watched Little Tennis.
Right.
Where they
Little tennis
with
player.
a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
He's just a little
tennis player.
That's so with 10,000 liquid cash. Don't shop at King Jewelers engagement rings.
My main thing is like how many
Big
locations do they have now? Oh wait. Explore his options in another. King Jewelers to Miami Beach. So okay, it is a chain.
Is there going to be a part in the 70s and 80s when like imported diamonds became really big that they
It
just
is, if you scroll-
1961 to 1982. They were like nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Wait, if you scroll up, that's so funny.
We took a trip to South Africa and then nothing happened.
If you scroll up, it's like they worked with the whole Rat Pack. It is like
that's
Frank
true.
Sinatra, Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, Sammy Davis.
Do you think they worked with the Pussy Posse?
Who's that?
Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, and then 2 guys who everyone forgot about. Taylor Kitsch, I think, was one of them. Whoa! They learned to be Italian.
This is the guy she was speaking with.
David King ushered in the 5th generation of kings. This is such a funny name for all of this happening.
Whoa, one of them's called Max King.
Max
That's
King.
cool.
That's like
Magazine
Max
King.
Power.
Max Payne.
Max
Maximum King.
Maximilian King.
Biggest crown ever.
Hugest king.
Ushered in the 5th generation. What do you mean?
Yeah,
Were they not born?
Come on in.
Hey, fellas.
Well, you can finally come. Okay.
It's a newborn.
So on this, wait, where was it?
Have some ring updates for y'all.
This video. On this video,
Is the first one?
this is the second one. There were a couple of jewelry companies who said, "Hey, this is like terrible. I'm so sorry this happened. Let us make a replacement ring."
Oh, that's
for you."
kind of crazy.
And like, you know, obviously like this is good marketing, whatever, for whatever reasons they were doing this. They're like, we have like this fun like tanzanite that we can put in a ring for you.
Dude, these are well-meaning people, but I do feel like this is misguided. If you look up tanzanite rings surrounded by diamonds, a bunch of rings that look like yours show up from this website called Angara. If this helps, I don't know if they sold it to them. And I'm like, I just don't like it like just doesn't pass the smell test. Why would they do all the work and then sell it off?
That
if it's a larger
third
business
party who would have to be buying it for less money to make a profit.
And-
yeah,
and
do
people-
Yelp review? They have a hard time deleting those. Yelp doesn't allow it very easily.
King Jewelers posted 2 tanzanite pieces of jewelry.
Okay.
So they're, like,
shit.
they're selling your tanzanite.
You know where I should have checked? King Jewels. I think they might have
am
stole it.
I
should
don't want to
check
side
that.
with the company,
It's like,
but I'm just like,
and to be fair, franchising companies, let's say it's not the Joey King that's running it or whatever. It is, employees. Unless it is exclusively family members that are running it and operating it, which would be interesting, I guess.
no, I think you're right. Because it's like at multiple locations.
It's
How
like-
big is the family?
It's like reviewing Chuck E. Cheese because you don't like the rat. It's like creepy to you. And it's like, people work here.
So this company in particular, Moretta & Co., offered to essentially just like make her a ring.
Respect.
And then they had they shared some DMs, and then they decided to pull out, to no longer give her a ring because they were in contact with King Jewelers and got some details from them. Which
shit!
They shared in this video.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
I have all of the evidence from the Chelsea King's Jewelers case. I'm going to share it with you guys now. But firstly, as a disclaimer, I am not involved with King's Jewelers. I'm not being paid by them. I'm not being compensated in any way.
I wanted to read his little disclaimers because I think they're valid. Making this video is risking our reputation as well. That was the first thing that came to my mind. We already have received several 1-star reviews. That sucks.
Oh, because they like pulled out of the deal or whatever.
or even like now that they're on the side of King's Jewelers, and then I'm like, I don't know.
It was it was a little impulsive to leave that comment in the first place.
It was.
Landed on this part first.
I also feel like, is it wrong to feel like doing the we're just little guys thing is a little bit?
I'm just a tiny tennis player.
That does kind of, I don't know.
It's a little.
Doesn't sit right with me.
Tapping the index fingers together.
It's
no
like
rings.
I get it, like, but you also have 200,000 Instagram or TikTok followers,
and I cannot get over the like. If you're gonna say there's someone like pursuing a big industry like music and or professional sports, very very few people do make it, and that is like a valid. If someone says I'm just a little one of this, I assume like, oh, okay, potentially completely unpaid entirely, maybe a small gig here and there. I don't even know how. Maybe the guy teaches tennis and that's how he makes money. But then you say $10,000 diamond
I know,
imported. I'm like, oh, well, one of those two jobs is making a bunch of money.
or they are coming from money, I guess.
Yeah,
but
that's the other path.
but I mean, it's like, it's weird because it's not that the principle of it is suspicious. It's the like lack of evidence that they're giving and kind of editorializing everything without like hard evidence. And then like the showing the boyfriend with the bunny is like just completely unrelated to anything. It just feels like another way of like, look, we're just little.
A picture of him in like after surgery, like, oh look, this is when he got his tonsils out. Oh,
what's
sweetie.
the name of this artist?
Chelsea King.
Chelsea King or Chelsea.
Chelsea King.
Yeah, it is.
Who is Chelsea King?
Okay, she is a smaller artist. Yeah.
Look up tennis. Is there a tennis pod on Spotify?
Yeah, when we search tiny tennis.
She's just a tiny musician. A ukulele's a full guitar to her.
His artist name is Tiny Tennis Player.
Hey guys, I can ride the ball.
I'm doing this out of my own volition because I see a small family business with kids my age being targeted and extorted for $25,000 when the items they dropped off were worth in the low hundreds.
They do call King a small family business. I also don't think that's true.
I mean, it's
because if you've got multiple locations
I think they're a big family business.
Yeah, exactly.
It's technically a family.
That's like
something.
I mean, it's not the same thing, but it's like you could also call Walmart a family business. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's just because I'm trying to interpret things as they come here. I'm not trying to be on just one side.
But I do think there is definitely a flaw to the level of wealth that a 130-year-old jewelry company has
with multiple locations.
I think there's only
operating
so
in a
small
jewelry space. Yeah.
So let's go piece by piece. Here is the initial uncut stone sent to me by David King, and more photos as well as the drop-off receipt matching the 999 on the left side of the initial photo he sent me. So this is the correct drop-off receipt. That's the correct stone. It's 5-6 carats max, not the 14 carat stone that Chelsea is stating.
He's going a little fast for me because I don't know. So
he's giving a lot of reading.
He said the carats didn't match up.
Now, if you look at the drop-off receipt, which I can tell you right now, the way these work is they ask you for a stated value. If you don't state a value, you don't get more than the maximum on the receipt. And stating a value does not cost you anything. There's no insurance cost for that. You just state this is worth $10,000. So if they paid $10,000 for the Tanzanite, Dawson, when he dropped off, should have said this is a $10,000 Tanzanite.
It's very possible that this shaman was not a great financial third party. He was like, yeah, I found it. What is his source for getting this Tanzanite?
It could be $10,000 of a different currency, maybe a more inflated currency.
It's yen. What a really shitty diamond.
But also, that receipt with nothing marked, like that doesn't tell me anything because it's a fucking scan, and that's the easiest thing to Photoshop in the world.
This is a little bit like when someone is really into a manga, and you're like, "Oh, what's so good about it?" And they start like 5 sagas in.
Yeah.
Like, well, no. What's the premise of it?
No, but look at stage 5.
So he's activated his 5th gear now.
Yeah.
This sounds boring.
All right,
but because I don't know.
And this is initial D? No, it's One Piece.
No, what are you talking about?
Wait, but why does he have a gear? I thought it was.
I asked you about initial D.
Also, shout out to initial D.
Shout out to Cars. Seriously.
Shout out to Cars. Shout out to 5th gears.
Said this is a $10,000 Tanzanite. He didn't because it wasn't, and he was lying. So that's why it's not stated on the drop-off receipt, and that's why he's limited to $800 in compensation legally.
Oh, $80. Yeah. We should, for audio listeners, there's a lot of text corrections that keep coming up, and it's $80.
But then it's also like that's what we were talking about too, because it's like you have to have signed some sort of form, and obviously signing a form doesn't mean that you're like spiritually waiving your rights if you don't know, or like the appropriate disclosures aren't made.
The shaman can.
But like when I ship a package and they're like, "What is the value of this package?" I'm like, I'm not saying nothing.
I don't know. You figure it out, and then as soon as my deck box is not delivered, I say, "Oh, it was $1 billion."
It was $1 billion.
Come to think of it,
it was actually made out of the blood rubies.
Now, scratching my chin. Oh, that Christmas card I sent. Oh, that was $1 trillion. Come to think of it.
I'm just a little guy.
I'm just a tiny podcaster.
Just a little guy. I only fit inside of a bean.
This is a lav mic.
Yeah, this is a
but
lav.
When I hold it, it's like a big one.
We're I'm like the what's the thimble. I'm like the thimble piece in Monopoly.
Yeah.
That's what
so bad?
Yeah.
I ride that little dog to work.
Here is the demand in the Better Business Bureau for $25,000 from Dawson because of, he wants to be compensated for plans he had and trips he had planned and all of the other things, as well as the heirloom value of $15,000 for a $200 ring and $10,000 for a Tanzanite he got for free after a shaman experience that he paid $10,000 for.
That makes so much more sense.
That it put us in slow-mo.
Wait. He paid if you're paying $10,000 for a shaman experience, you've lost all of my empathy.
To be fair, it did leap out. It's almost like if you watch like a movie, a drama set in like the 1800s or something, and a character goes like, like, "Are you okay?" It's nothing. That's almost like setup.
Yeah.
It's like, we had this shaman experience. And that's all I'll say for now.
It's what's Shadowheart got over there? What's that little thing?
It hurts. Like, what does? Nothing. I don't want to talk about it.
Nothing. And I've got this little. What's that?
You're probably wondering what that was.
Yeah, you're probably wondering what that was, and the answer is nothing.
That's the
oh great, no further questions.
That's her best passive aggressive girlfriend moment in the whole game. It's when you go when you go into like see Cargo for the first time. She was like, it hurts. Big exclamation mark above her head. You're probably what I said. Sorry. You're probably wondering what that was about. No, I didn't even know. I had AirPods in.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I had my medieval AirPods in.
Sorry, what was it, Shalimar?
Yeah.
Shadow.
Now, everyone was led to believe that King's Jewelers stole the Tanzanite and stole the ring to make big money off of it. Now, I can tell you, after reviewing the photos provided by Chelsea, the description provided by Chelsea, and the photos provided by David, that the total value of the 2 items dropped off was under $500, period. Under any assessment in material value, under $500, period.
Right, because we know, if we know the relative size of these items,
it was very small
in the construction. It was a tiny ring.
I know that they can be worth a lot, but
I'm like,
really
if that was
small.
like pure gold, it like wouldn't be worth like that much. Like you could take the most expensive material element that it could be made out of, and even in the maximal case,
if they chipped off a little piece of the uncut gems gem and put it in there. So hold on, did Dawson think he was paying for the diamond and the shaman?
The shaman experience was free.
Yeah. It's a deal.
Yeah.
Here's the police report showing that FedEx did indeed have the package stolen. Again, Chelsea made everyone believe that King stole it and is profiting off of her.
Yeah, I was always, okay, we didn't see any receipts, but, I'm not jumping to write a Google review. I just want to, like, hear out all parties. But, like, if you know, which, I don't know exactly what Chelsea knew, but this information is available and you didn't communicate that you were seeking to find those receipts, even if you didn't have them in the moment.
We should know what Chelsea knows. If like we've seen the next steps,
and I can only assume that the whole thing about the Google reviews. Why can a company just remove the Google reviews? Okay, that you've jumped to a conclusion.
I suppose if they could, that would be bad.
If they could, that would be bad. But we're not addressing the other options and the other possibilities.
So if we start letting immigrants in, what if they bring dragons?
Hold on. Wait.
Would that be bad? Yes or no?
Are there any? Okay, that would be bad, I guess.
Build the wall. Dragons can't get over a big wall.
Depends on what type of dragons these are.
No.
So you're anti-immigration.
Oh, wow.
No, okay, hold on.
Yeah. No, I'm saying we should let the dragons through. I like those ones.
No, but
it is. I guess if his fiction was true, then it would be bad.
So even in the most charitable cases, like this is missing evidence, and now it's like if I'm cynical, that I'm saying you knew that the package was actually stolen, and you framed it this way for maximum sympathy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to jump to that cynical conclusion. There's like only so many ways that can save Chelsea from me drawing that conclusion.
There is like we've talked about it before. We've even talked about it a little bit on the show, but like it is a very good default generally, especially when you're talking about a vague, unaccountable corporation, right?
Yeah.
Amazon, let's say. By default, take the side of the consumer because it's so much more like if I see a kid with a bloody nose and then I see a big bully kid, I'm just probably going to assume the big bully fought him and didn't fight back. But it's possible my kid was being a little shit and attacked him first. It's possible. And then ran into a wall and got a bloody nose.
Exactly, and then ran into a wall.
Her other side of, the likely one, but it's also like it always, as soon as I saw that, you mentioned the figure, right? The 10,000 plus the 15,000.
Yeah,
that was nice, clean, round 25. That's like when I'm like,
and that's a thing you do like in lawsuits and stuff. But
it's implied damages or whatever. Right?
Yeah, but like the damages that you're supposing are like, oh, these trips we were gonna take, and I'm like, well, what about this? What about this ring has to do with these trips?
You have to put the diamond into a key slot
in order to open the door to Cabo San Lucas.
I was going to the pyramids, and I have to put this in a door to solve a puzzle.
Right, like it's like you can still get engaged because then there's that whole thing where she zooms in and goes, we could get engaged with a ring pop, and I'm like, well then. I'm not saying if you're wrong, you're not allowed to complain about it. It almost feels like this person wasn't sure if this would blow up, and then once it's blown up, they're now responsible for some of the consequences of their hyperbole. You know,
never said to do it. Thank you for doing it.
Legally, I never said to do it, but this has been so validating.
It feels so good for heroes to fight on my side, which I would never ask you to do, and you shouldn't, but thanks, and you should. Thank you.
Yeah. So here's correspondence from the Gem Cutter.
Here's correspondence from the Gem Cutter talking to the police, getting the police report for the
pause. Also the fact that there's a police report is something that was never mentioned in her videos, because
so much.
That means that there's some sort of process of, not that the police are going to find the absolute truth, but there's more progress being taken in the pursuit of what actually went down here than
frankly,
is being let on.
Too much. Honestly, the resources going into
I'm a little bit surprised that all this has gone on and there's no mention of it.
I also, does this feel like it's on FedEx? This seems unrelated to King's jewelry.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated.
But that's the thing. It's now if it was FedEx, good morning. I have received a call from FedEx yesterday to inform me about a theft in one of their trucks contained one of my packages with some tanzanite gemstones and one gold ring with some diamonds mounted on the specific ring.
Here's the photo from Chelsea of her ring. Here's the photo from King's of the ring without the emerald in it. Same ring. And again, here are photos of the tanzanite. This is not a 12, 14 karat crystal. Even if it were, it'd be worth maximum $150 in this quality. But let's say it's 5, 6, 7, 8 carats. It's worth $100 maximum. And they were demanding $25,000 or else, or we'll defame you online. That is the threat. That is called extortion. So to summarize this, King's Jewelers sent out her project on time. It was returned to them on time. It was stolen from a FedEx vehicle, and Chelsea King is on here crucifying King's Jewelers for trying to give her a replacement ring.
The sentimental value, I guess, is a part of it, but it is it's not nothing.
Actually, it does not seem, we don't know for sure that there wasn't insurance on the package, because that's what Chelsea said. But then in that police report, it said that there was other things in there, it was among the things that they were sending out.
Yeah, I don't
know
enough
about. So it's possible that they sent out a batch of stuff, of which Chelsea wasn't the only customer that was caught up. And so if they sent out a batch of stuff and didn't insure it, that seems weird.
I don't even know if you can. Isn't there? There's a value level where you have to insure a package,
right? Which maybe this didn't.
It
doesn't eclipse it. Yeah,
I would guess it's under $10,000.
But then I guess if they're offering, it might not even be out of the goodness of their heart. It might be for making a positive customer experience, so that they did the best that they could. But also, they could possibly have. They're not going to get insurance payments until all this police report and shit. It's going to, even if they have insurance, they're not going to see the payment for months and months and months and months, if not longer. And they're trying to, I don't want to feel like I'm going to bat for this random business, but and I'm going to say cynically, I don't think they're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. I think they're doing it because they know if they give their customer a bad experience, they're going to give them a bad review.
Yeah. I mean, and they were right. Even if it is or isn't correct. I mean, in the case of this setup, I'm probably I won't pretend there's not bias on my part, because little musician, little tennis player, who knows?
The shamans.
My name's Dawson Kennedy. I have my father gave me a small fortune of Kuala Lumpur.
It definitely fits into the stereotype of the type of spiritual tourism that a lot of white people do.
A $10,000.
Yeah, the $10,000 shaman experience. I'm
that is akin to the $10,000 alpha mindset courses that those guys go on. It's the same. It's
now, if we're talking about a $10,000 jewel gem in the form of a Mox Emerald, a Mox Sapphire, some of the Power 9.
Come on.
Now
what a deal.
Now we're talking, and I will steal the package. Call FedEx, call the police. I'm on the run.
Go ahead, try and insure me. I'm on the run, crushing it in
I'm on the run, crushing it in Vintage Cube. All right, sorry. Enough
trying to list
talk.
it, do that thing where you type in the code to get it on Arena.
free Patreon Magic episode this week. And also our merch is still available for another couple weeks. We'll let you know when it's about to be gone, but for now, you can still head on over to sadboyz.store. And if you're a patron, there's also a password on the Patreon for an exclusive patron color of the shirts. We'll put some photos up there, have a little just dip into sponsor mode. I don't think we have a sponsor on this episode, so we'll just sponsor ourselves.
Being ourselves. Log me up. What? Be myself. That's a
also
now?
Thanks for bearing with us on sponsors. It's a thing that we need to do, and there will be probably more in the future, but hopefully we'll mostly it's YouTube, so sponsorships are a common thing. But
yes, I'm fully aware it's an heirloom. I understand there's sentimental value attached, but sentimental value does not allow you to extort a business with threat of defamation. That is a crime. That is called extortion.
I also get that it's an heirloom, but if it's an heirloom, I would not. If it's an heirloom that I did not want to risk, I would probably not put it in a situation where I would just use the heirloom as it was, rather than like risk modifying it or like risk anything, because things can happen.
Even now I feel like I'm crazy. I would take it somewhere that cuts their own diamonds and put stuff. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could just be an outlet and you have people you work with, but I don't know where they live.
It is fair. This is in Nashville. I saw in the police report, but this is a fair point that if I'm them as a customer, again, I'm trying to be as fair as possible here. If I'm a customer and they don't make it clear to me that they will be sending it away, that is a scary risk. Like, there are certain things that I am afraid to ship in the mail that I'd rather like take in person,
Sure. Or even like find out that, if I know something could get stolen,
right?
Well, I might and it is purely
it's a
sentimental.
non-zero
I'll be like,
chance.
Next time I go on vacation and we're in the same city, I'll give it to you then.
I don't know what was communicated, so
sentimental value is not a literal number. Sentimental value is the sentiment.
Yeah,
there's not some legal obligation. It's like, well, I really liked it. Sorry, but
I do
that's
think
making
it's
almost more money.
A little funny that if I go back that many generations in my family in this country, we get into a dark spot.
Chains. It would be sentimental chains. I cannot get past the silent, what should be a silent part that's like kind of getting said out loud, which is like, guys, I just want to check in. One of my PS5s got stolen. I have 9. I just got, $15 million from a sale I did the other day, but the taxes took 5 of it.
I do think that, I've complained a lot less about not having the magic cards from my childhood because I have accumulated so many magic cards that I think I got it. I think I figured it out.
You're in your that was your villain turn. One experience. You know the little.
I do have a few villain turns.
The villain from Adam Webb that's always like, I grew up with nothing.
Yeah.
I will never go back to nothing.
But I do still. We were talking about VHS tapes the other day. It's like the sentimental value of my VHS tapes that I painstakingly recorded Power Rangers episodes on with the commercials. Like I would pay a large sum to have those, even if they're still like deteriorated, because that happens to tape sometimes. But I
don't think I'd request money from the storage facility. I put a bunch of my shit in proportional to how much I liked that Ed Ed.
Imagine if today I made a TikTok about it too. Like, and the thing is, like, people want to use their goodwill, so you just have to. I'm like, I would be so afraid to do something where I know that everyone's going to be leveraging people's goodwill because they assume that everyone's a good actor, and I'm not saying that this person's a bad person or anything like that, but I'm just saying that, like, from what I know now, they've left out very key details. It's seemingly so that people will be on their side.
And I mean, like,
though I would have left out Shaman if I wanted to fully be on my side.
I probably just would have. It would have been a 5-second clip for me. Like, King George stole my shit. I'm sad about it. I don't read. It is. It's remarkable how much damage you can do with absent-mindedness and naivety. To be fair, in everything here, including the not doing due diligence on the price. Hey, we don't know really much about any of these people, but especially not Dawson. And it seems like he was kind of leading the charge on the logistics of this. Yeah, not filling out paperwork, not giving it a price, so and so. So he may have just been like Mr. Magooing his way through this, bumping into shit.
Yeah,
sliding on a
I don't know
skateboard.
much about the life of a tiny tennis player, so
I don't even know how to play because they use a ping pong bat, but it's to them it's the size of a baseball bat. It's like really long, and they sleep on it. What kind of response was Murata and Co getting? I mean, I'm sure bad
can we scroll
reviews,
down to
still,
some of the? All right, relax.
Chill
like
out.
now, because it's
Why
like now.
does everything have to be something?
Yeah, because it's like I hope King Jewelers is lawyering up and not saying anything. This girl needs to have consequences in court. Okay.
Chill.
Slow down.
Relax. That's just being her. They're just doing the same thing.
Also, dude, people are their heart's in the right place, but they are not saying the right thing. Just because I believe my dog is worth $100,000 doesn't mean I get him for free because his value is actually zero.
Right.
What are you
Jesus
talking
Christ.
about?
I don't know if I. Man, $100,000 kind of, if it is a dog, that's almost like not enough. That's weird. I think if I came up with a vague, oh man, these people are so
Her
smart.
original made it seem like it was the Tanzanite equivalent of the Hope Diamond. That is really funny.
Somebody made a really, one comment up from here. What if the boyfriend lied to her about the cost and he still won't fess up out of embarrassment now she's writing for a big one?
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't, I like want to, I'm still trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but she still did construct the TikTok that lacked receipts and kind of should have known better.
You're responsible for
she literally
accountability.
asked the internet to do their thing.
No, I didn't say
And so I'm like,
anything.
if you're aware of the internet doing their thing, you know all the stuff that can go wrong with
I
that.
didn't ask them to do anything except what they did that I asked for.
She said, when she said 10K Tanzanite, I was picturing this boulder-sized stone because I've purchased Tanzanite jewelry. It's not exactly a high dollar stone.
What did you think the shaman session was?
But yeah, so just one thing that someone else had pointed out is that she at one point had this I don't know if it's her home or her family's home or her family's vacation home, but she had this video on her TikTok that she has since deleted of this like tour of this home.
She's a candidate. I mean, oh, come on. What are we talking about? She lives on the set of Love Island.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of wild.
I mean, it's maybe the least surprising part so far. Is like,
oh, Maui home. Yeah, so because like if this all happened in Tennessee, I wonder if she's doing the Nashville thing because of music.
to be fair, unless she is explicitly saying like struggling financially, because she can also be saying, I'm just a little musician, like scale-wise, like listenership
And I get
scale-wise.
that.
But her music definitely isn't what I think a lot of people, when they talk about situations like this, especially when they grow up in households with like not even obscene wealth, just a lot of wealth that gets normalized, and they assume everyone around them roughly. Their dad makes like $80,000 a month, or so, it's gonna be a lot of money, maybe not as much as my dad, that kind of thing. Then it also warps your perception of like what struggling is, because I know a lot of like kids that like. I went to college with one in particular. I won't say his name, but I did have a specific falling out with him because he kept referring to himself as working class, and both his parents were retired and they owned like a marketing agency, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, but you're not, and you're just not, and it doesn't matter. But clearly, you want to be because of
right.
class.
It's
I
not
don't know
cool
what you want
to be rich or whatever.
And he's like, no, I'm working class. I work at Tesco. I have I'm like, right, but it's not. The rule isn't like whatever the lowest position in the family is where you
also,
are.
it's like the thing is like you don't have to.
You absolutely you don't have to. It's crazy. And he did like 2 days a week sometimes.
And
3-hour session, and it's like you just want the aesthetic.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all
like
this
you're
is.
allowed to own it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's like not like you're
the reward is
disowned
being rich.
Yeah, the reward is being rich.
The tax on being rich is not getting to complain about being poor. That's the trade-off.
If right. Like if I have a rich friend, like, and they're like, dude, crazy, right? And I'm like, yeah. And it's like I know people who like came from money, but then really want to like make it on their own and acknowledge that they have that safety net, but they don't want to tap into it, and it's like a personal journey of theirs. I respect it, and that's fine. And I also respect when somebody's like, well, I'm gonna like leverage, when even things like people like living at home with their parents to save money, is something that I totally respect, because it's not something I had the ability to do.
Imagine, but yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and
but the only reason I would ever even be against that is just stupid capitalist propaganda in my brain that's like, no, American dream, you move out, you buy your first house at 20, like you rise and grind.
Just the dishonesty is the only issue.
Yeah.
And it's like, just own it. I think that's just like much more respectable.
It's like, do you have to have everything? Like, do you have to have the narrative and the journey? I did it all myself. Well as all the money?
Self-built. I'm
If I didn't have this, I'd have to move back to my home in Hawaii. And I wouldn't get to stay here.
It's like, you don't need to be perceived as what you're clearly like angling to be perceived as.
You don't have to be a movie. It's okay.
It doesn't have to be a movie.
Also, you aren't making it by yourself. That's
it's
just
like,
not how that
just
works.
Acknowledge it. None of us really are.
You
know what I mean? It's like, because like it's like I have to acknowledge, even when I tell people like my background, they're like, oh, you've really done all this stuff yourself. And I'm like, well, thanks for the sentiment. But like, I had so many people in so many places like really, stick their head out for me.
Yeah, the implication, if it is just the effort in and nothing else, and the implication is that anyone that is poor isn't working hard.
Yeah,
which is not true.
Doesn't. Yeah, it's like I just
gotta make it myself.
It's totally okay to like acknowledge your privileges, even if you're. I think that people don't want to acknowledge privilege when they aren't happy with their position in life, because if they're so privileged, then why don't they have exactly everything that they want?
Which is, I think, brain poison that can come from severe privilege, because that's a very valid question.
Yeah, and it's like,
why am I not happy? And it's
right.
Well, not because of the finances.
It's like, I think all of us, and it's like all of us have certain privileges, and it's not like a compare. It's like when you do like trauma, comparing trauma.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, don't do it.
Doesn't make the other one good.
Like, acknowledging a privilege doesn't mean you are of such immense privilege. It's just saying that, oh, like as a guy, for example, I have a different experience online or in public or certain things I don't have to think about than if I was like a femme presenting person.
Yeah,
you know?
Being a mask presenting cis male does not like detract or enhance our privilege or struggle related to race.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it also doesn't make like, you don't get to pick your strongest. It's not putting out like your best Pokemon.
Right.
Saying like, well, I have this racism, and then like a white trans person, I'm not trying to fight them on like.
Or yeah, it's like if I talk about being, or we're watching like Black White, or like talking about being like profiled in stores and stuff. Sure, that's happened to me, but I can also acknowledge that happens probably a lot less than me than if my complexion was darker.
Oh yeah, if I was darker skin,
you know what I mean?
It literally.
It's
and
just,
where I am, and
yeah,
like,
it's just like there's so many things where it's like it's not a competition. You can just be what you are, and if you're like upfront about it, then I have so much more respect than if you're like cosplaying like a struggling artist.
Yeah, and the scale matters, but also like I think shame and shaming are often brought together as both very practical, when in reality they like that's way too broad a brush. To feel ashamed can be like a conduit from or into guilt that then you learn from. But like a general misery, just like feeling shame all the time, that's like, I don't want you to feel bad.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you're privileged because I don't want you to appreciate something that is going on, but I am now in my life privileged.
Yeah.
And I think it is very disingenuous for me to like, yeah, I don't want to get a DM being like, "Oh, you were complaining about like chronic pain? Well, you're a YouTuber." Or
right,
like,
exactly.
Well, it is. I'm not then going to go like, I'm actually not, and I've never been on YouTube.
Well, I do this in
my father made YouTube, so not me.
I did this in a therapy session recently where I think I described myself as like having a hard day, and then when I was asked to go into detail, I was like, "Well, it's not really hard because I mean, my life is easy comparatively." You know what I mean? And they were like, "Well, just because that doesn't mean you can't experience the range of emotions." And I'm like, yeah, but then I'm like, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm like struggling when I have so many privileges that other people don't. And they're like, why? Who do you need to like prove that to? And I'm like, right, this is in private with a therapist. I can like, I don't have to like hold back, but I think that there's like a healthy balance with that, where it's like, you don't just want to be on one or like you don't want to be on either end of the spectrum.
The reality is that everyone has their guard up because they don't want to be the person getting called out in the way we're calling out.
Yeah.
right now Chelsea King, because it appears that she's coming from a family of millionaires. But I don't like. It also matters that I've known actually two friends of mine from very wealthy families that have had some major like medical condition occur in like one of their families, or like potentially really like I wouldn't say specifically, but like let's say someone gets cancer, right? Depending on the complexity of it, depending on the frequency of it, it did cost them hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they were technical millionaires. Like they had over $1 million, but they didn't make $1 million, you know? Mm-hmm. So but again, it matters that it didn't put them in debt. Mm-hmm. So yes, very expensive medical situation. Be different in the UK, I suppose, but this is back in San Francisco. Very expensive situation. Huge deficit in wealth. Mm-hmm. Their lifestyle inflation, I imagine, probably like surpassed the ability to spend $500,000 in bulk out of nowhere. But the consequence could be selling the house, not going homeless. There is like a little bit of space. Yeah. And, you know, here's a fully able homeless person with no cancer. Mm-hmm. And like, right. But that doesn't make being unhoused good now or easy now.
Yeah, it's just like, that's why it's like you just can't compare those things. I think it's just when you're kind of looking for sympathy online, one, very risky to be doing that, because when you present yourself as someone who needs a lot of sympathy and stuff like that, and it's almost like emotionally manipulative to like
you have to, it is mobilizing people. There's no way to pretend like, if I say to you, I go like, I'm having like a really crappy day, I don't really want to talk about it, but you want to hang out. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. Now that is truly just, I could use a hand with something, with like a vague feeling. If I go like, I'm having a really crappy day, and it is what Jacob did. Well, then I'm like, clearly I'm like, well, but I won't talk about it. I'm clearly gesturing you like towards.
Well, what, are you sure? Because what did Jacob do?
I'm just a tiny little podcast.
I'm a microscopic podcast,
dude. I have to climb onto the microphone to do the show.
Yeah, you live inside of a little petri dish.
Help me. I'm writing a tardigrade to the show.
Two things we don't know for sure. We're being told that this is a deleted thing of theirs, but I don't have all the receipts except for there's a King Chelsea handle that maybe used to be their handle or is currently their handle.
But I mean, we have to operate on this like kayfabe, because we also don't know that it was ever stolen in the first place. We don't know that Dawson exists. We don't know that King Jewelry ever spoke to them. Well, we don't know that FedEx lost something.
Signed the slip. So then also,
but not the amount of money.
The other thing is like, I don't know where this family is from, but big like white family with multi-million-dollar house in Maui, especially knowing history of like Hawaii and like the sort of colonization thereof, it like puts a bad taste in my mouth. You know, like Mark Zuckerberg is like especially buying up tons of land there just for his like bunker and shit like that, and it's like kind of really, that sucks. The other thing I wanted to point out is this is from an account called TikTok Dirty Deletes, which is very funny. Ooh. The Dirty Deletes.
Dirty Deletes.
We gotcha.
That's a after midnight show. Dirty Deletes.
I've had to do this before where it's like you're making a video about somebody and then like you got to download the TikTok because you're afraid that they might like delete it.
Feels weird, doesn't it?
All right, Jacob, where does this leave us?
We got engaged.
We did it.
Thank you so much, Genesis Diamonds, for making such a beautiful ring, and thank you, Dawson. Dawson designed it. It's
glad you like it.
Absolutely stunning.
I think Genesis Diamonds had some hand in designing it. But
I've got an idea. What about oval? what about a ring that's like goes in your fingers?
Oh my God, the comments. I love how Genesis Diamonds is not proud to show this couple off whatsoever.
Dude, check it out. Siblings are dating. I'm gonna go siblings on this one.
Wait, where did they say that?
Me.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Engaged.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Gotta take a vacation to have a date.
Someone said I can never show my face on the internet again out of embarrassment.
He showed it for the first time for some reason.
Wait, what do the replies say here? What happened? I'll DM you.
Someone just said, "What happened?"
Dude, these comments are always so funny. No one can ever make me like you guys.
Oh my God! Some people just like King Jewelers for the win.
I think we should tell everybody the story of how it happened. This year, my parents are renting a house in Maui. My mom works for the Red Cross as a translator, helping victims of the Lahaina fire. And when they asked us to dog sit for a couple...
Okay. So that's good.
Still, still having a lot of money, but it is...
That's... No. Well, I was just going to say that, like, that was a very serious, like... natural disaster and caused like tons and tons of displacement of people on Maui. So good cause.
Well, and also like completely independent of. I mean, there is the element of like if they were involved in the real estate, and that's its own sinister thing. But there is also the like, well, I think at some point we're not like a little musician, right? Probably not a little musician.
I'm so confused about because. So that's a Maui connection, but I'm still like, what's the situation with that house? Because even if you're renting it, that thing is
exactly.
That's a lot of money.
It's almost like it's like a let's just say for the purposes of the comments we're making, it's in Tahiti.
There's so many cynical ways to view this that I'm like trying to not, but just keep playing it.
So we headed out to Maui, and I'll let you tell the rest.
So when we got to her house, I'd been planning with her little sister for about 2 weeks prior. We're trying to find the best time to do it, the best occasion to do it, the best spot to do it. Originally, we had planned to go to Hana, which is like a forest, jungly area of Maui. But when we got out there, we found out there were a couple landslides and some beaches were closed.
This is just a story
and
about the
everything was
house
just kind of
getting
shut
engaged.
down. So
I guess, but the thing that's interesting to me is because like they're renting in it, and to the point where they brought their pets.
Yeah, an 18-month lease.
And so I'm confused, and so I'm like, this is all just confusing. So I do want to hear more of this simply because I'm curious how they're engaging with the community.
Yeah, this is like Dark Souls lore. Like nothing's written explicitly. But you're like, actually, if you read the item description on this sword.
Yeah.
So that didn't work out. Day 2, we tried to go to Haleakala, but that was closed down as well, so rats.
Well, the thing is, I don't know why these places are closed down exactly, but a lot of places are closed down because of the fires.
And the landslide was the first issue, right?
Yeah.
It's just a funny way to frame it. It's like, rats.
We just decided, screw it, not taking no for an answer. We're going somewhere. It's going to happen. So then we went to Honolulu Bay, which apparently has a special place in Chelsea's heart.
It's very magical.
It's very magical.
Why? Explain that.
Apparently?
Is she
What do you mean apparently?
There? Is she from there? I'm confused.
It's got a very special place in her heart.
Okay.
She said yes.
I said yes.
Yeah.
It was a no-brainer.
It was perfect.
It was really beautiful. I'll show you guys some pictures.
Will you marry me?
Yeah.
There's the minion.
Yeah, I did it.
What do you mean she's trying to run away?
I did it.
I did it. My wife. I'm engaged.
We got engaged.
Getting engaged and vacationing while they're repairing their homeland after devastating fires, and that's what is off. Everywhere was closed. These people are literally still recovering from a fire. This is what like is going through my head. I'm so confused. I feel like I'm being gaslit by this video.
I went on vacation, right?
Wait, yeah, can we look at the replies?
And everyone was having COVID.
Yeah, they're acting so nonchalant, like these areas aren't closed due to a fire that displaced an entire community. Not to mention that natives have been asking us not to visit the islands.
And they said not because we weren't taking no for an answer. Do you think a landslide was no? That just happened. That wasn't at you.
Rats. That's a devastating fire that displaced so many natives with such an inconvenience for your engagement plans. That's why I'm so confused. Can you look at the replies that say we're struggling artists who dog sit for our parents in Maui? Yeah, and then look
madness.
How romantic. You got engaged surrounded by people who just lost everything, still struggling just to exist.
I literally think there is a certain like a level of comfort in your brain where you don't understand how bad things can be. Yeah. Like you hear that and it's the same as hearing like, yeah, I heard fire engines the other day. I think that was like a house fire.
Yeah.
And not understanding that like this is like a national event. Like it is.
I mean, like I, went to Pokemon Worlds this year in Hawaii, and I really like wasn't sure about going for this exact reason. And it was only because I had two friends there who are native Hawaiian that I was going to be able to visit and like see their hometown and like feel like I was getting to like connect with my friend and also their home and their family and, you know, like places that were sentimental to them. I like didn't feel like I was like purely just there for like tourism or something. Like, yeah, it's just, I think the weird skating around like their inconvenience being like people's entire lives and communities being destroyed. And
that was like a landslide or some bullshit, something.
Yeah.
I don't
Rats. Okay.
Rats is a really...
That's... Because also I was like, okay, her mom works as a translator for the Red Cross and they're helping victims. So does that make all of this okay? And like, I don't think I'm the person to decide on that. And so that's why I was like looking at the comments for...
And it is completely like immaterial to the whole King Jewelry situation, which is just has nothing to do with her financial situation. It just has to do with at worst lying, at best being naive, let's say.
Yeah. Can we go to the very last... This is great tea, piping hot. Can we go to Chelsea King's most recent post that's unrelated to anything? I just want to see if the comments are still being like...
Very funny third thumbnail.
Have you ever tried apple cider vinegar, honey, and hot water in the mornings? It smells really bad, but it's really good for you, and it's good for your vocal cords. And that's what I had this morning at 5:45
Wait, pause.
a.m. when I was...
So the ring was a lie? I gave those jewelers a 1-star on Google. I feel terrible.
Well, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, everyone's like, have you ever tried to lie about a small business? Wait, can you go to the replies on that one?
It's just...
I didn't really give them one. Dude, TikTok is such an unserious place.
It's okay, guys. It's like, you know, hey, you spend too much time online, you don't know how to communicate. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Just don't leave comments.
But I did feel like this is a thing where they're like posting through it.
I mean, yeah,
it's so weird.
It's a like, pretty funny one. Like,
it's like, why not just acknowledge it? I guess maybe it seems worse. I don't know.
This is, I mean, it's actually, it's kind of like just, what are you going to do? I'm posting it.
All right. Well, this about wraps it up for today's episode of Sad Boys, but we're going to keep the good times rolling.
What the hell?
In the distance, I think Jordan's seeing...
Like a bonus.
It's like a bonus Patreon episode of Sad Boyz Nightz.
Oh, it's like a full-length episode of the show that's bonus only for $5 patrons and above?
Yeah, exactly. And that's available at patreon.com/sadboys.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, it's getting closer.
It's getting closer. And it's going to start right after this, but we end every episode of Sad Boys with a particular phrase.
We love you.
And we're sorry.
Boom. It's the beginning of night.
It's the beginning of night.
Ouch.
Oh, it's nighttime.
The bird, or whatever I was saying. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
I'm going to go pee. It's the continuity, though.
Yeah, we're doing it for continuity. And then I think after this, we'll do the magic moment. This magic moment. Maybe that's what we'll call it.
Your mind is the scene of the crime.
Oh, I know this. Oh, Inception.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
The story of a lifetime.
That's a good one.
It's a pun. Oh, Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Hey, I was thinking Benjamin Button.
I mean, that would work too.
Technically, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Story of a lifetime. That is a weird movie because what if you had to describe what Forrest Gump is genre? Like it's a drama, it's kind of a comedy, but like if I say
like
I love
the chocolate,
it is easier to pitch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
just being like,
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it.
Girl, too rich for me.